Hello, it's Debbie of Cardinal Healings. Today is September 19th, 2024. Today is my son's 17th birthday. Um, he almost didn't make it. He almost died 2 weeks ago. So I'm here to tell the story and get the word out. So 2 weeks ago, I was put in a really horrible position as a mother, as a healer. Um, I was, I live in New York State, so we're forced to vaccinate our children for school. So my son is going into 12th grade. So I got the letter from the school saying he needs the meningitis shot to enter 12th grade. So I got the letter a long time ago. I ignored it until the week before school. I got the certified letter in the mail and the call from school saying he could not enter the building without the vaccination. So I still waited another week. I waited till the last second, 2 days before school, September 3rd. Um, I had to make a choice. Nick is a kid that needs to be around other children in school. He's a very much a homebody since he's my son. He feels energies and, some people say I could have homeschooled him, pulled him out of school, but it was a really hard choice to make. So knowing what I do and what I'm capable of doing, people that follow me, that have worked with me, I pull poisons out of the body every day, parasites, plastic, nanoplastic, all the COVID stuff, all chemicals. It's very effective what I do. It is a God-given gift, and I know what I'm capable of doing. So I had to make a choice. Like I said, yes, some people say pull them out of school. I know thousands and thousands and thousands of mothers are dealing with the same issue. They don't want to do this. The government, the schools, and the doctors put us mothers in this horrible position to parents, rather, not just mothers, to do their dirty work and poison our children. We know that childhood immunizations, everything. And if you think about it, there's poison in our food, there's poison in the air, the water. So, like, pick your poison, basically. I mean, trust me, this wasn't an easy choice. I went against every ounce of my being when I went to do this. So we made an appointment for the doctor. I went there and we went inside, and the doctor comes in, and I said, you can shoot that on the floor if you want to. And he's like, oh, meningitis, you don't want that. That's horrible. So he continued to do the shot. So I am a healer, and this is what I do. I sat there and I literally, excuse me, pulled out the poison, the vaccine as it was going in. I'm sitting there pulling it out, pulling it out, pulling it out, sending Nick white light, doing what I do. I've done this many times before. I work with people all over the world, so I know what I'm doing is effective. So I'm pulling it out, pulling it out. So he finishes, we go outside, and we're at the desk. So I'm getting my certificate to show the school that I poisoned my son for 12th grade. So my son is 6'2", standing behind me. All of a sudden, I catch in the corner of my eye, boom, he goes down. He goes down on his back, straight down on his back, laying there. I go running over to him. His eyes are wide open, unresponsive. Oh, God. I'm screaming, this effing poison. I knew this was going to happen. I'm shaking, I'm screaming. His eyes are wide open. He's laying on the floor, unresponsive. So I'm screaming, screaming, screaming like a mother that I'm screaming, Jesus, help me, Jesus, help me, Jesus, help me. On my hands on him. Eyes are wide open, unresponsive. I'm screaming, Nick, Nick, Nick. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So nobody's doing a thing. No one's doing a thing. I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. It went on for so long. A lady in the waiting room finally said, maybe somebody should call an ambulance. So obviously they see this more often, that like nobody was doing anything. I'm on the floor on my hands and knees over my son, screaming this effing shot. I knew this was going to happen. Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me. Like it was a long time before anybody did anything. So finally, the doctor that gave him the shot comes out, and we already had an interaction in the office. So he wasn't too happy with me, I guess. But he comes out and he's like, he's fine. I'm like, he's not effing fine. I'm like, so he drags him. He's a big guy, big guy. He drags him off the floor and plops him in this chair, the closest chair right there. And Nick's like a rag doll. He's like falling out of the chair because he was still unconscious. He wasn't responsive. And the guy's like, he's fine, he's fine. I'm like, he's not fine. I'm screaming. He's still unresponsive. They never checked his vitals. They like did not care. It was just, I'm appalled at the coldness of the response here. So anyway, they put him in the wheelchair. They roll him back to where we got the shot. And they did call the ambulance guys, which they came and they were amazing. I was still screaming like, mother bear. This poison, screaming, losing my mind. So Nick's finally they get him. He comes to slightly. At this point, I call my friend Ada, who is somewhat of a medium. She can remote view. She gets me messages. We kind of work together. I'm the healer. I'll try new stuff out on her, and she gives me messages and tells me what she's seeing. So I call her frantic. I'm like, oh my God, Nick had a reaction to the shot. Help, help, help. So I'm on the phone with her. The EMS are working on Nick, and we start working on him together. She's seeing things and we're pulling things out together. We're seeing what's happening in his body, or she's seeing what's happening in his body. Then I almost start passing out. I'm like, oh my God, Ada. I'm like, send me something because I'm going to pass out, and I can't pass out right now. So I sat down, I got myself together. So Nick's slowly coming back, and so he came to a little bit. They sat him up, and his blood pressure dropped, and he started passing out again. So they sat him back down. So I'm like trembling. I go over to Nick and I put my hand on his forehead, and I'm like shaking. And Nick, now he came to a little. He's like, Mom, calm down, Mom, calm down. And I'm like, he's like, because he could feel, my energy and me shaking. So he's like, so I stepped back and let the EMS do what they were doing. So I'm still on the phone with Ada. I'm still screaming, this effing vaccine, this is bullshit. This has to stop. Da, 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 da. So then they sit him up again after they checked his pulse and everything. They sit him up again, and then he says he can't see. It's like, I can't see. And I could see in his eye, he's just like not there. He's like, so they lay him back down, and then they're telling me he has an erratic heartbeat, that they want to take him to the hospital. So I'm like, okay. So there were some young guys there. It was great. They were great with him. They ended up, instead of sitting, they kind of pushed him over to the stretcher to take him to the ambulance instead of sitting him up. So his blood pressure didn't drop again. So he was fine. My car was there. So I let him, he's going on 17. So he was going on 17. So I let him go. I was right behind them at the ambulance. But as I walked out, I went to the counter. I was like furious. I'm like, I might as well get the certificate that shows that I poisoned my son for the prison school system. So she hands it to me. I grab it and walk out the door. I get into the car. I'm like hysterical. Call my husband, tell him what happened. I'm driving to the hospital, frantic. I call my daughter. She actually beat me. She's Nick's older sister. She beat me there to the hospital. So anyway, we get to the hospital. They bring him inside, and they give him some saline. They put him on monitor and stuff. And he ended up getting 3 bags of saline, which was great because it flushed things out of his body. His body was trembling, like shaking so bad. He said he was cold, but his body was in shock, in trauma. So we're getting him warm blankets. We stayed there. We were there for 6 hours. They did blood. They took some blood. They were just looking for electrolytes in the blood. They weren't really looking for much, but like the work I did, well, we'll get to that in a minute. His blood work comes back fine. His heart rate, after we're there 6 hours, he calmed down, and they said just follow up with a cardiologist. So 6 hours later, we leave. He stood up a couple times. He was a little nervous to pass out again, so he did it very slow, and he felt confident that he was okay. So we leave. We come home. I got him settled. He went upstairs to bed to lay down. He was exhausted. So I called my friend Ada, and I'm like, Ada, first, thank you. I wouldn't have gotten through this without you. But I said, I need to understand what happened today. I mean, this was actually insane that I got her on the phone, and we were able to witness this in real time, what was going on here. So like I said, she's able to remote view. So I said, did what I do work? I need to know. I mean, I work on people all the time, like pulling this out with results, people that see things leaving their body. So she's like, absolutely. She's like, you pulled out 40% of the shot as it was going in, but it went directly into his bloodstream, to his heart, to his lymph system, his endocrine system, to his liver, his kidneys, like immediately, like instantly throughout his whole body, the shot went in. So you definitely pulled it out, but it went straight to his bloodstream, to his heart. So she said, if I wasn't who I am and do what I do, he would have died. And I confirmed my other friend, Jen, that I reached out to my friend Christy, who this is my team of people that I adore and love so much. I couldn't do the work that I do without my team of support. They're just truly amazing. So she got on the phone with Jen and told her the story, what was going on. So Jen tapped in, who's another amazing healer that works with me, and a medium. She's able to remote view also. So she witnessed what was happening in real time too. So so she confirmed everything. I actually recorded our conversation because I felt like I needed to listen to it again. And so she, he was definitely out of body. Jen confirmed that he was absolutely out of body. He was unresponsive, his eyes wide open, unresponsive for quite a while. Like I said, that woman had to finally speak up because nobody was doing anything. It was horrific. So, where am I? So it confirmed everything. I literally saved my son's life. I literally saved my son's life. And it was meant to happen this way. I'm like, why my son? Thousands and thousands and thousands of kids got the shot for senior year. It's mandatory in New York State and California. I think other states you can get an exemption, but I'm like, why did this happen to my son? And so it was for divine purpose. It was so I can speak from boots on the ground, from experience. And then I got thinking, who's going to know about this? The 20 people I tell, it's not going to make the news. They're not going to report it as a vaccine injury. They're not going to, it's just going to get pushed under the rug. I need to tell my story. This happened to me. And, I am so against this stuff. I had to make a horrific decision as a mother, as a healer, knowing I have this gift from God to do this work. I've been doing this for 8 years now. I work with people all over the world. I know what I'm capable of. I know I I perform miracles every day through God, channeling me, using me to do this work. I am here for a reason. And that's why I had to make this difficult decision to be like, all right, we're at the end of, if he was in fifth grade, fourth grade, third grade, I'd definitely pull him out and homeschool him. Excuse me. I figured we're in 12th grade. This is it. You can do trade work. You can go, do on the job training, do something. We're done after this. This is it. So I know so many of you out there had to make this decision too. No, you can't, quit your jobs. You need your money to survive. We're still living in this matrix, and we have to do things we do not want to do. I know it's easy to say I should have pulled them out and homeschooled. I don't shame anybody. I know we all love our children more than life itself. All of us. So anyway, that's my story. Thank God I was able to save my son. This was definitely for a higher purpose. So I do work with people. I'm here to serve humanity. I'm not here to shame anybody. I work with this little boy, nonverbal autistic boy, who had to get the shot for 6th grade. And after he got it, he was screaming and he typed, "Help me, I've been poisoned." So I ran over to his house and I pulled it out. He was watching. You can see, he sees things. He sees this heavy metals leaving his body, and he's like, he could feel it in his head and stuff. So as it was leaving, he was calming down. And I kept releasing layers and layers and layers. And, slowly we were getting to a point where it was out of his body. I mean, I know what I do is real. I'm the most authentic person there is. I wouldn't be doing this if it was trickery or fakery or anything. I just want to help humanity. I know there's an evil agenda out there to poison us, keep us enslaved, keep us sick. And I know the work that I do works. I pull out poisons, toxins. I send in vitamins, minerals, plant medicine. And it is truly effective and it works. I work with some autistic kids, which I've seen huge results. The little boy that I just told you about, the teachers are blown away with the changes that they've seen. They're like, blown away. So anyway, that's my story. This was really honoring Nick for what he had to go through. Today's his birthday. He's 17, and thank God he's here with us and very healthy. I had my friends Jen and Ada really look through his body, look at the organs, the liver, and they say he's perfect. The thymus gland, the glands are really effective. So I really had to work on those again and clean him up. But I just want to get the story out. And if you'd like to share this, please get it out. I mean, this has to stop. This is not okay. And they, like I said, they put us parents in this horrible position to do their dirty work, and it's horrific. It's not okay. And it needs to stop. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, this is not a sales video by any means. But if you don't know this is available to you, you go to doctors, therapists, whatever, to try to help your children. This is what I do. cardinalhealings.com. If you want to find me, you can message me, you can reach out, just tell me your situation, ask me if you think I can help you. But God gave me this gift for a reason. I'm here to serve, and I absolutely love what I do. It feeds me. It doesn't drain me at all. People like, does it drain you? I could do 10 sessions a day, and each session, the feedback from people that I've changed their lives absolutely feeds me. So thank you for everyone that's trusted me to work with them, their families, and that believes in the work that I do. I love you all. Thank you.